He's a master manipulator. Every person he encounters is his prey, chosen based on how beneficial they are to him that day. And then when he's finished, he discards them and throws them away.
Every time I'm with you, girl, you make me Everybody sees it too. Thought our love was true. Now you're leaving my heart out, left me high and dry. Thought we'd make this thing work, but you didn't try.
She was the perfect prey. She's an empath. He saw that she could be beneficial to him in so many ways. He could train and keep this prey. Her compassion and sensitivity could be his life source every day, readily offering attention and validation, draining her to endlessly fuel his narcissistic supply.
I wanna be free, need to be free.
Cause she was broken down with low self-esteem going through her divorce, so when he showed up, he was her knight in shining armor riding in on a dark horse. All he had to do was smile at her, show a little affection, and guide her with his misdirection. And she fell head over heels, never imagining that there would be a day when she stood up for herself and he'd erupt in a narcissistic rage, tell her to pull over so he could beat her, kill her, and bury her in the woods, and only then would his anger be assuaged.
I wanna be free, need to be free.
When everything was perfect until it wasn't, he'd show her just enough love and affection to keep her bound in that connection, and snatch it away the next second, withhold his affection, ghost her without a trace, capitalizing on her fears of abandonment, rejection, and dejection to keep her in her place.
I wanna be free, need to be free.
And she'd do everything to try to please him, but nothing she did was ever enough. And just when she decided she'd had enough, was fed up and ready to leave him in the dust, he'd come back around, give just enough love and affection to keep her around, giving her emotional whiplash and trapping her in a vicious cycle of emotional and psychological abuse that would last and last. Because all he saw in her was an opportunity to break her, and he broke her. He broke her down with all his negativity, criticizing, cheating, and treating her with hostility. Everything that she loved and enjoyed, he snatched it away and isolated her from her friends and her family. Being with him felt like a constant mind game, slowly and quickly going insane, constantly questioning her sanity, losing herself, trying to please a man who can't be pleased, trying to love the hell out of a man who only loves the hell he's in. I mean, that's got to be the definition of insanity.
I wanna be free, need to be free.
But then that heavy depression weight lifted once she realized she had made the biggest mistake, for she loved a man who for whatever reason really couldn't stand her. But that desire to be loved clouded her judgment. It overshadowed everything going on around her, the lies, the hurts, the cries had to happen so that she could open up her eyes, because everything he does is based solely on how it benefits him, and without cause or reason decided that she was no longer needed. So he grabbed her by the neck and he squeezed, and he told her he would kill her and bury her amongst these trees, and she begged and pleaded with him, "Stop, please, I'm sorry, please." And he threw her to the floor. Then he grabbed her by the hair and he slammed her face into the metal bed frame that was sitting right there. And then he threw her in the corner, wrapped his hands around her neck again, and he squeezed so tightly. But this time around, she couldn't make a sound, lips tingling, mouthing words that could not be heard, praying his rage would subside and he'd calm down. But that look in his eyes as he intently watched her meeting her demise told her that he would not be satisfied until she had died, by his hands making sure she understood that he got the power and control, and she about to be a missing person, but don't nobody out here even know that she about to be missing. So he squeezed her neck tighter and tighter, and this time around making sure it won't be an ounce of breath inside of her, because he is finna kill her.
I wanna be free, need to be free. Wanna be free, need to be free.
And then just on the brink of death, he lets go of her neck, then grabbed her and threw her back into that cold metal bed frame and angrily asks her, "Do you believe in God, and have you been praying?" And through her tears, she says yes. And then he stopped. He started yelling about her face being swelled up, and as she stood up, she knew ain't no third time with this fool, because the next time she won't make it through, because he loves to be cruel. But how could he be so cruel, showing no remorse, acting as if he wasn't just trying to put her in a hearse? And she had prayed for visions and clarity and dreams and prophecies, but when they came to her, she told herself they wasn't true, questioned their authenticity, while her intuition telling her to be careful of the severity of his insincerity. But still, she kept playing the game because she couldn't yet logically explain why he treated her with such disdain, why she kept hoping that maybe one day he would change, wondering why he even bothered with the vows exchange, only to abruptly change, acting like he deranged. But honestly, it took all of that to realize it was really her who needed to change. So she stopped bowing down to every one of his selfish needs, refused to allow him or anyone else to drain her self-esteem, disrespect, misuse, or mistreat her. And so she picked up those shattered pieces and slowly pieced herself back together to create this mosaic masterpiece. And finally, she can find some peace. Stand tall, my black queen. You're finally free.
I made it over. Over. I made it over. Over.